What's up, people? How you doing? How you doing? Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. I want to say hello to Nubiology, to Angie, UNC Girls Bad Reeve, Davna. How you doing? The Bushes. Hello, hello, hello. Your true crime bartender. What's going on? Dovey, how are you doing? The Hood Table. Hello, hello, hello. PDP, what's going on? Okay, I just want to I want to talk about the Wendy Williams show. How many of you saw? I put a one in the chat if you saw. Where is Wendy? The 2 night special, the documentary about what's going on with Wendy. You put a one in the chat if you've seen it, a two in the chat if you have not seen it. Hey Keena, hey Ron P, good to see you. Hey Kind to Me, D Cop for Life. Okay, Dovey's seen it. Mm. Dovey, you're the only one who's seen it. Okay, Ron P, not yet. It is a good watch. Newbie, you haven't seen it. It is on Lifetime. So I'm going to drop my link for anyone who saw it. If you guys want to come up and say what you thought about different areas of the special, I thought it was quite sad. I really thought it was quite sad. Okay, let me see what you're saying. I have it set to watch after my beef sector replays, of course. Okay. Hey, Levon, how are you doing? Okay. I haven't seen it. I've, I've been outside the last 2 weekends, but would love to hear about it. Yeah, it's really a good watch. I think it is. I I watch Wendy Williams. Sometimes I didn't watch her regularly, and at first I I really didn't. I wasn't a big fan of Wendy Williams, but I know that she created a lot of things. She uh created a lot of milestones, a lot of markers. She's a woman of a particular age who, came of age in the 80s and stuff, and she's a true New York girl, and it was kind of astonishing to see her like a hip hop era type of girl, and all of her Gucci, all of her Dior. She was just labeled down, but she looked so bad. You can tell that she grew up in that era, and um, I read today that William Williams is worth 500 million, and she should use. Wait a minute, it's worth 500,000, and 500,000, and she used to be worth 20 million. See, and that's the thing. See, that is the whole reason why they actually have this documentary. Because has anybody detailed how Wendy Williams has allegedly gone through this money? And see, this is what I do not like about this. So they talk about the period of time where she went off of TV, and how her life spiraled downhill. But after a point, her bank had a conservator take over her money, where her son had to move out of his apartment. They were no longer paying her bills, and a whole lot of things had went on. And also during that period of time, her son was the conservator over her health situation. So she went out to Miami. It was supposed to be for a couple of weeks, and this was before Debmar Mercury, who is the production company behind her show, told her that they were in fact not renewing any type of show with her. They had given her the hopes of, well, just take a few months off, and we'll see what happened in September type of thing. So she extended her stay with her son, and then all of a sudden, her head got clearer. She was talking more coherently, and then all of a sudden they said that they needed her back in New York City. So she's thinking that she's revving up to possibly be back on TV. But in the meantime, what they did was they put a conservatorship over her health situation. So they already had someone over her money, and then they put someone over her health situation. So and then during that period of time, I believe she was in the early stage of dementia there. I do too. I do as well. They used to call it back in the day wet brain. People who misuse alcohol so much that they never get their their brains back, so to speak.
Hey, Miss Ryan.
Molly, hey,
It's
how you doing? Just checking.
I know you got to check because these people are.
Hmm.
That show was so sad, and to see how
It really,
bad it just breaks my heart.
hmm yeah, it really was. And the thing about the money and the conservatorship of her health really went. That's when you start seeing her out and about in New York City with those short shorts on, and and all disoriented around the streets where the people walking her to her doorman, and she's just all out of it. And you would see her, looking like this about the face and all that type of stuff. So it was really a lot. Wait a minute. Yeah, that's how, like, one of the pictures of how she was looking, and these types of pictures when she's out and about in a wheelchair and stuff. And her health was deteriorating during that time period. Her family has no contact with her because they don't even know the name of the conservator over her right now. So any contact with Wendy has to reach out to them and call them. So what do you think about that, Charlie?
I will say this. I also saw where her son stated that the reason he took a step back is because the new conservator and the people around her are allowing her, they're yes men,
Hmm.
and they're not taking away the alcohol. They're allowing her to do whatever she wants. And he's worried that he's going to get a call one day, basically. And
Well,
it's really
he
sad, in my opinion.
well he really had no choice to step back because he
It's true.
he cannot even locate her because uh they don't give the family member a number for her. The last place she was in a wellness center. They said that it was in Malibu, California later on. Her niece went on to the View. And this was like last week, right before the show was to air. And up until the show aired, Debmar Mercury, which is the production company for the Wendy show, was suing to not get this show on the air. Up until the night before they put the show on the air, they were in court trying to get this documentary held back. Did you know that?
No, ma'am, I did not.
Yes, so they did not want this to be seen, her production company. And let's not forget the manager, Will Shelby. I don't know what's going on with StreamYard. It's taking a while for Will Shelby. He allegedly was a jeweler, and all of a sudden they met on the nightclub scene. They met partying, and then all of a sudden he's her manager. And if you notice, he is also Wendy is the executive producer of this special, and he's one of the executive producer. And Kevin Jr., thank goodness, is also one of the executive producers of the show. This was a part of a three movie deal that she had with Lifetime before she became ill. So what do you think about this Will Shelby guy? Hey, Voodoo.
I don't. He acts like he has her best interest at heart for the cameras, but I truly don't believe anybody that's around her right now does.
I
Because
don't.
when he walked in, it was all about business, and he saw her the way she was. Like, oh, she just needs
Mhm.
sleep. She's just tired. No, something's physically wrong with this lady.
Hmm. And all this pipe dreams about, oh well, we can do this and we can do that, and this sounds like an idea. How does it sound? I sell my clothes, I'll sell this wig, and you have to give me money for it, and this, that, and the other. And he's like selling her this like this is a good idea, these things that she was coming up with. Now her parents are her one of her parents passed away. Her mother passed away. I was surprised. I actually saw that show, and she was kind of like that was during her one of her disoriented phases, and she came on and she was having a hard time. Remember, it was a black producer who used to feed her lines and her words and stuff. And she said that her mother had passed away from the coronavirus, and her mother had passed away like it was either 9 or 11 months prior to her making this announcement. She had passed away a long time. I was like, oh my God. And like, how did she hold this in this long? And yeah, so that was kind of odd. With the announcement of the mother passing being so far off. Personally, I think only her son has their best interest. Um, now they're trying. Now see, now they're trying to do it two different ways. They're trying to say that the son should basically hate his father, and there's reports out that the son is calling the stepmother mom, and a lot of people are up in arms and mad about it, and they feeling that the father is using him and trying to get him in his grasp so he can just get money shuttered through him. There also reports out that there was a American Express that her son had use of, and he ran it up like $100,000 worth of Uber Eats, this, that, and the other. I'm like, but he's a rich kid. He's doing rich kid shit. You know, if his mother has 14 million and he's grown up and this is what he's accustomed to, but they're trying to insinuate that he's giving his father money since his father is no longer being paid. So I think I also, by looking at the special, it seems like he has her best interest at heart. You hear him speak concisive about how she gained weight while she was with him. They're also saying that, you know, she appears to be anorexic. So he says she gained almost 30 pounds when she was there, and you know, she was exercising, she was eating right, and you know, the whole family dynamic, you know, was a lot healthier for her than being in her apartment alone drinking. So what do you think, Charlie?
I think the same thing. When you looked at the videos they showed on the documentary of her, she looked so much better. She was speaking with her mind and not out of it. She seemed more Wendy, you know. And when
Right.
she was away from him, she's just lost it.
I definitely agree. And dementia eats away at the brain as if it's not, and if she's not on medication, it can speed the progress of decline. Medication helps slow the progression. Yes, your brain actually shrinks when you have dementia because it actually deteriorates, literally, not just in the usage. It really deteriorates. So now, the first time that I heard dementia mentioned by the family was when little Kevin mentioned it. So he had said that she had it, you know, even while they were filming this special. And he said that they told him that she had dementia. Okay, so her niece. Now, the first time that it was announced to the public was the day that her niece was on The View. It was 2 days before the special came out. So her niece was on The View. She said that she was in a wellness center. They didn't know exactly what her diagnosis was and all of this. And so I remember Whoopi Goldberg, the look on her face was like, oh my God, how can they not like tell you this? And she was like, no, we have no contact unless she called. We can't, you know, we can't change our numbers. We got to answer every call from any number because it may be Aunt Wendy. And so they didn't know what was wrong with her. And so after her segment was over, they went to a commercial and they came back from a commercial break. And then Whoopi Goldberg said, we got an announcement from Wendy's care team, and they announced that Wendy has, I forget which specific type of dementia she has, but they named the type of dementia she had. So my question is, now you didn't even tell the family wasn't even notified. And then after you are fighting them to say anything about Wendy, you keeping everything about Wendy in secrecy. The only person that you cared to reach out to was The View to make this announcement about her health without even telling the family first. That blew me away.
That's heartbreaking. And for those who don't know, if you have family members with dementia or onset Alzheimer's, you can. There's actually been a proven cure already. Pure coconut oil. It helps reverse the symptoms.
I've never heard of that.
I did a speech on it when I was in college, and they actually have found a cure for it, and it does help.
Mm. Well, we know Very Carey. She'll never get dementia the way she tout her coconut oil. Drink some coconut. Listen, I don't know about it. Hey, anything you can try to help, like help. I don't. Charlie is saying coconut oil is the cure for it. So, yeah, I don't know, but thanks for the information.
I would rather spread good information because I had a grandmother, and my
Mm-hmm.
grandmother had early onset dementia and Alzheimer's runs in my family. So I was doing research, and that's how I found it.
Okay. So they're saying that she has the same kind Bruce Willis has. Okay, so now so we got her up here. Now she was worth 20 million, and Wells Fargo said that she's worth 500 million now. So now these people, the first conservator over her money, actually worked for the bank. So how is it that your banking? Wouldn't you find it astonishing if your banking institution just locked up your money and said that you had to go through any type of physical test and or jump over any hoops, and to get your money back. Now, let's not forget that Wendy Williams' sister also said that they were in talks, and they had a family meeting, and they asked her if she could be a conservator over Wendy's health. And she said yes. She said, forget the money. I just want my sister to be healthy. So she's like, she wasn't even trying to be the conservator over her money. She was trying to be the conservator over her health. And then all of a sudden, she said a door came down and they stopped communicating with the family. So I don't think that they want Wendy Williams healthy. I think that for her to go from 20 million to $500,000, uh, they have a lot of receipts that they must prove that this money was spent. Being the fact that they have cut out her family, it's not like they're even taking care of her son at this point, and that is his inheritance. That is his future wealth that they have taken from her son. This woman worked for this money, earned this money, and they're basically stealing it right in front of our eyes, and nobody has anything to say about it. It's like, where is anybody going to step in? Her sister is an attorney herself. The i, I think i I think I heard that her sister is an attorney. And so they feel like there is something really wrong with the conservator situation. They had Leslie Diamond, who does a whole lot of those news stories about missing people and things like that. She came on and she did a little talk of saying how broken the U.S. conservatory system is. So there was a lot about that.
Yeah, I saw where, in my opinion, I think they need to have like a secondary person check over the files because something's not adding up. How do you go from millions to thousands that quickly? And secondly, how does a bank have legal right to do that? You know what I'm saying? Without serving the family and have letting them get legal representation, they did it without even the family being able to fight back.
Right. So yeah, and even like her sister said, listen, we are not the perfect family. We do not have all the perfect family members, but we love our sister. So there's been talk about the brother Tommy, how Tommy is a cloud chaser, and he's selling stories to this one and he's selling stories to that one. There Every family has a bad seed in every family. Every family has something going on with it. Why does the family have to be picture perfect to find somebody in the family who is willing and able to take care of her sister? So now they're also trying to say that the son was misappropriating her funds. And he said in the special that, my mom told me anything I need, just ask her and she'll let me get it. If she want me to have it, she'll let me get it. She'll tell me to put it on the car. But to the extent that they actually had her son, I don't know if he was purchasing it or renting it. I think he must have been renting it. He was evicted from his condo in Miami. And then they put out a story. It was because he was failing out of school. They didn't talk on his school in the special. They didn't say how he was doing in the school. But why is he left homeless? Why? I don't understand. Why is he left homeless? It's not like he could go home with his mom. I mean, I don't understand. What do you guys think about that? What do you think?
I'm gonna say this. I think that him being her son, if she decides to do something for him, she should be able to do it, especially if it comes down to something like that. Like he's going to school right now. It's not like he's just out partying or something. Another point I would like to ask you, and say to the crowd, why can't her family get medical help for her? If you know what I'm saying, like get the medical internship to be able to take care of her.
Exactly.
That's the one I don't understand.
The son is the rightful next of kin. He showed responsibility in seeing to her, getting to her doctor's appointment. She gained weight. Her mind was clearer. She was thinking clearer in the whole 9 yards. And then when they took the conservatorship from him, he actually had it, and they took it from him. And it was at that point that she spiraled out of control to the point that the paramedics had to be rushed to the house. That Will Shelby guy, he found her, and it's my belief that he is one of the yes people, because it was like points in the movie while they were trying to take pictures and they wanted her to stand in front of the fireplace and she couldn't even do it. She's like, oh no, I can't do it. She couldn't have him let go because she just couldn't even stand up on her own. So he did have it, and they took it from her, and she got to the point where that Will Shelby guy walked into her house, and he never said what type of condition he found her in, but he called. Who does he call? He calls the nephew, and the nephew calls the son, and the son calls the ambulance. So this is all happening under the conservatorship. So ultimately, it was the son who saved her life anyway. So it doesn't seem like they want her life to be saved, is my point. And then they said that she had to have 3 blood transfusions after that. So it was the son who saved her anyway.
That is it just to see the decline in someone who was so sharp and such a vibrant person, to see them go to what she is now is so heartbreaking to watch.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so yeah, I just wanted to touch on that. So they said that the last thing that the sister left us with is that since she's been in thank you, Choo Choo, since she's been away, that how do you use the coconut oil? Okay, they want to know, how do you use the coconut oil in the treatment for that? Hey, Gummy.
You have to the scientist that she was a doctor, her husband had early onset, and she did a clock test. And when she first started the coconut oil, what she did was a shot glass. She put it on his corn because he would eat corn every day, but some people just drink it. When they started doing the clock test at first, he couldn't even do the numbers. He barely drew a circle and lines. And as time went on, the more that he ingested the coconut oil, the better that he got at it. And he could actually do the clock.
What is the clock? Draw a clock?
Yeah, he couldn't. His dementia got so bad that he couldn't. He was like an avid reader and all this, and he got to where he couldn't really read. He couldn't comprehend. When she tried to get him to draw, just a regular clock, he couldn't draw a regular clock.
Okay.
And as time went on, he actually could put the numbers in place and do the lines, and he got back, not like 1,000% better right away. It took time,
So it's
and
oral consumption.
yes.
Okay.
A shot glass, and make sure if you do get the coconut oil, it's pure 100%, not anything additive, because that won't work.
Uh-huh. That's interesting. That's the first time I ever heard about that. So there you go. There's a place to start your research on, and to check it out. Yeah, so the last thing that they said, that she has gotten better, and her sister said that she was talking to her, it was like talking to the old Wendy. And a phone call came in, and it was from Wendy during the filming, and she said, okay, well, did you ask for something? And then she says, okay, what happened? Okay, well, you write that down, and you make sure you write that down. And it seems like they have set forth a plan together to write down some type of inconsistencies of things that she's requesting that she is not being given. So that's what it appeared to me. I don't know if it's the conservator or if it's the medical staff or anything. And she said, well, just look for something to be happening in the next few months. And Wendy is very coherent. It's just like me talking to the old Wendy right now. And is little Kevin recipient of Wendy's will and life insurance? They didn't say if going by normal standard, he would be the next of kin, the only next of kin since she's divorced. So I'm just would make the assumption, but I have no facts to back that up. Knowing Wells Fargo, shoot, you got to check Wells Fargo. They said that the first conservator of her estate, which they who actually worked for Wells Fargo, it was a conflict of interest. And it was surprisingly that she started buying a whole lot of high price items and artwork, and she had been taken off of her conservatorship. And there's someone else who is the conservator, and the family does not even know this person's name. So, would you rather a person? Okay, I don't care if it's his inheritance. It is his inheritance. So I would rather him have his inheritance than for Wells Fargo to act as if they're paying people to take care of her. And the money went. What, it's been like 2-3 years, millions of dollars, from 20 million to $500,000. No, that's not adding up.
A lot's not adding up, and I would have, if I was the family, I know they don't have necessarily the kind of money Wells Fargo does to count it, but they can request through their courts that a secondary, like outside source, a financial advisor, looks at it. And I would have somebody look at it and see, they have to give up the documentation. But now, whether they're truthful and they don't fudge it, that's a whole nother story, because they can make those books look like Wendy spent it.
But the judge who ordered this, he ought to be under a lot of scrutiny as well. Because why would you order her under some type of conservatorship and her money is spent in this type of fashion, when the whole complaint was, and I mean, you have absolutely nothing to show for it. That last apartment she went to, the last scene was they went to her apartment and it was stripped bare. So you're looking at somebody who probably, they resell all these designer goods all the time for good money. So what happened to all of her things? I mean, she's sitting on camera with draped in Chanel necklaces, Gucci furs, everything, Dior this, Dior that. What happened to all of her personal items? I mean, you have to look all the way down to small details like that. Her whole place was just empty. Her family has no idea what happened to any of her things. And with her having dementia, she's not going to be able to tell you if any of her things have gone missing. See, it's a lot with this.
Do
You
you
know what I'm
think
saying?
that her personal assistant may be taking things?
No, they said that the conservators had the apartment cleaned out because she was looking for a new apartment because her apartment that she bought after she left the house that they had in New Jersey, it had stairs, and her feet were so bad that she couldn't walk upstairs. She couldn't even stand up. But her feet were really, really bad. So she was looking for a single level apartment, and it was her hopes that she was going to be moving into the apartment, but no, she has been in a wellness center ever since. So the family doesn't even know if she has gotten the new apartment. Now, her plan was to sell the apartment she was currently in and to take all her money, and she said it was going to Bank of America. It was not going to Wells Fargo. So they don't even know if that apartment sold and they took that money and put that money in Wells Fargo as well. It's
Mm,
bad. It's bad. Hey, Lovely.
something seems very fishy and needs to be looked into. But also, Kevin Jr. should look into make sure that he is in the will and does have an inheritance, because with some of these conservatorships, even though he is an next of kin, they can make themselves the beneficiary if something happens to her.
Listen, he's an adult. He's 23 years old. He doesn't need a guardian, and I don't think that he would be a good guardian, and I don't think he would pass the smell test to be a guardian. Kevin is 23 years old. He doesn't have any mental disabilities. He's a college student. He was, or I don't know. Some say he flunked out of college. Others says he's still in college. I don't know, but he's not a slow child. You sit up there. If you watch the documentary, he presents as a well-rounded young man. All kids, like all young people, have had their mess up with money when they're young. When you look at a lot of people just who work regular jobs when they're young, they may blow money and then they could have saved more. You know what I'm saying? Just regular people. But to the point where he needs a conservator, I don't think that's necessary. I think that he need an accountant for sure. He need an accountant team, but I don't think that the bank should be in any way a part of saying who is doing what to her money. I think the bank should be there to hold her money. I think the bank should, and it's Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo has been proven to steal money from people all the time. Look at all of the cases that they have against Wells Fargo, nickel and diming millions of customers out of money and making massive amounts of money off of nickel and diming their customers. So there's that.
Oh yes, ma'am, I agree with that. I just hope they don't try to weasel if God forbid something worse to happen to Wendy, which no one wishes. They don't try to cut him out of his inheritance or what would be left to him, because they seen that like evil, if that makes sense. Like they're just after her for her money, in my opinion.
Now, he says Kevin is full of shit. Did you hear him shade her mother? No. What did he say to shade Wendy? I've heard reports about him saying that Sharina, he called Sharina mom or something to that a point, and it angered a lot of people. Hey, NYW and Ebony Diamond. So I'm waiting on Love Blake to tell me what he did to shade Wendy. I feel bad for Wendy. And you have to understand. Okay, I want to hear what he said, but in the meantime, while I'm waiting, you have to understand that he's going through a lot himself. He's going to it's a lot to deal with a sick adult, a sick parent as an adult, and dementia patients are also a lot. And to understand the fact that Wendy is a celebrity that is used to having whatever she want whenever she want. You look at how she. Hold on one second. Hey, kind to be me. How you doing?
Hi guys, how's everyone tonight?
Right.
I'm good. What do you want to add?
Oh, nothing. I just wanted to listen a little closely. I missed both. I think were there one parts one and two, and one came on like Saturday, and the other came on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how it went? Or they all came the
Yes.
same day?
No, they came. Two parts were on Saturday and two parts were on Sunday, and they're replaying them all week. So you're going to be able to catch up on them on what is it? The what network is it?
Lifetime.
Lifetime Network.
Okay. And
You can watch
why
it for free
was the
online.
son do they say why the son wasn't given the opportunity to act as guardian?
No, he has no idea. No, no, and the
And see,
sister.
that seems to me like they're just doing what they want to do with her money. Wendy can, I mean, if something happens to her son Kevin, I would think the next in line would be who? Not her husband, because they're
Her
divorced. Is
sister.
it her
Her
father or
sister.
sister? So why
Maybe her
are they going
father.
through these?
Her father.
Hmm?
Her father's 93 years old. Yeah, but
Mhm.
it would be her father or her sister.
Right.
But it doesn't seem like they're going to have anything because Keena is saying that they reported that she's only worth $500,000 and she was worth $20 million when the show ended.
And I have one other thing, I guess. I saw a clip of Wendy with China, Black China maybe. And
Hmm.
when she said, I'm a hunter, but I'm divorced and he's broke. So I often wonder if Wendy is playing some type of, let's leave this dude out here broke as fuck, dealing with a baby and another woman. You get that feeling at all?
I really don't care. I really don't care about him being broke because I don't appreciate how he was sitting up on her money like that.
Right.
But we have to call a thing a thing. Um, I don't know how to put this.
Just saying.
He kept her. She wasn't deteriorating. She was showing up for work. She was performing, and it didn't seem like she was alcohol induced when she was with him.
Mm-hmm.
He kept her on business, on task, and everything. He's a cheater. A lot of men are cheaters. I'm not saying that she was to excuse that, but this Will
Absolutely not.
Shelby guy that they
Mm-hmm.
have around her now, it seems like he's working for the bank. If you ask me, how
Is
did
that
he
the guy
become?
they call Will? Is that the Will guy?
Yes, how did he even become executive producer
Right.
of this series? See,
Right.
that's where the money is, being the one of the executive producers. So how is he an executive producer of this? What business does he need to manage? She's not doing any business.
She's not
He's
doing business right now.
She can't even stand up. Where is she get? Okay, I know we know you can get anything delivered. They didn't show any type of staff she had at her home. She didn't even seem capable in many of the scenes when she was at that New York City apartment by herself to walk to the door. Some days she was just laid in the bed, and you can tell that she need assistance. They have to lift her up. She can't stand up on her own under her own weight, this type of thing. So how is she even getting to the door to get this alcohol without somebody bringing it to her bedside? She had a mimosa. The camera crew came and she was laid out in the bed, and they was like, "Oh well, she's too drunk to film." Oh, you see that? Yeah, she can't film. Well, where did these mimosas come from? I can't see her hopping to the kitchen to make them
Right.
herself.
Making it. Where is she now? Is she in New York, Florida, or California? Do
Calif-
they actually say
California.
where?
Well, the last place that her niece said she was on The View. She said she was in California at a wellness center, but she did not know the name of the wellness center or was able to contact her there. So
Wow.
now you understand that this series was filmed over several months. So it
And what year
definitely
was
didn't
it
tell
on
you.
the queue? Did they start filming it?
I don't know when they started filming it, but I know some of it was filmed in 2022 and 2023.
Hmm.
So yeah, so they don't I don't know when the filming wrapped, but they did not say where she was because she had gone somewhere because they had to take her out of her apartment. They emptied out her apartment. And the thing that they don't you don't something's rattling.
Sorry.
Oh, that's
What about
okay.
now?
you don't know if if you don't know if her apartment sold. She was looking to sell her apartment so she would have some money, so she could put it in a different bank so she would have some money, and you don't even know how that turned out.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That is
Yes.
crazy. It's like it's so
Hmm.
much money just being laid around and just handled differently. Different people, whoever can go up and get whatever amount, and nobody's, being audited on it.
And imagine you had a mansion. Okay, so you have a mansion. Okay, so all the proceeds from your mansion and all your 401k and everything, your bank locks your money up. But now you have a $500,000 house and you want to buy a condo. Okay, say you have a $700,000 house and you want to sell that and buy a $200,000 or $300,000 condo in Florida and put the rest of your money aside because your money until you can get your money unlocked.
Right.
Now all of a sudden your bank calls and hauls you into some wellness facility and you don't even have now it's
I'm gonna be pissed
yeah, girl, yes,
to the
thank you.
highest level of festivity because number one, how are you going to tell me how to spend my fucking money? I don't even understand how they got involved unless she has some type of clause or
It's me.
something.
It's
Right,
me.
Hey, Miss
that's
Toby.
crazy.
Hey, Miss
Hey,
Toby.
Pecan. Hi,
Hey, Miss
Charlie.
Shelby.
Hey.
Yeah, so that's crazy. It's not, and I don't think that this is right in under any aspect of what's going on, and I think that there are responsible people. Her niece, her sister's daughter, is a newscaster in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Did
That
you
made
know
me
that,
cry
Connie?
when she was crying. I almost broke down in tears seeing the niece cry.
Yeah. So these are people who are responsible in life in many ways. So I don't get it. What do you want to add, Miss Toby?
I was just saying, I think what I think she was really heartbroken by the divorce, and after the divorce and after the baby, she really went downhill.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Or is she acting like she's gone down here not to give him any money?
Oh no, honey, that's not acting. I don't think so, kind to me.
But
No, I
but
don't think so.
when he took her to court, the thing was that as long as she didn't have any shows in production, that he couldn't get paid. The long as the Wendy Williams show was no longer in production, he couldn't get paid. So that sounds really odd to me. If she was ordered to pay him a certain amount, it seems like she would have enough liquid access to pay him whatever. She wasn't ordered to pay him for life. Nobody is ordered to pay their ex for life. So it seems like she could have bought out her payment of him and just paid him what she owed him. And just because you lose your job, don't mean you no longer have to pay child support or spousal support. You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't make
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not saying that he deserves a nickel, but the fact that they gave him some and then it's just like, well, how does she get out of it just because she's not working anymore? Because
Right.
nobody else can do it, is my point.
Right.
And
Right.
the bank is spending her money hand over foot.
Right.
They weren't even paying some of her. The first conservator over her estate wasn't even paying her household bill, her mortgage, and things like that. Wasn't paying any of her bills. And then
What?
they got yes, and then they got her with all this new fancy artwork and things that she's been buying for herself. And then they got rid of that conservator. She actually physically worked for the bank, which was a conflict of interest as well. But what happened with that? It's hush hush on that allegedly. That these are the allegations. So it now is hush hush on that. Now they don't even know the name of the person. Could it still be the same person?
I think they're taking Wendy for a ride and taking her money.
I'm just
I think
wondering in this day and time for a woman like Wendy with this huge amount of money that she's made and still making, I'm sure, in some capacity.
Mm-hmm.
How is it on the courts to decide? I don't get that part. I still don't understand that part. How were they just
But
obligated to be her guardian or assign her a guardian?
yeah, your bank of all people.
Right.
Hey, and then they assign now that and they assign medical somebody to take over your medical care. So
You have
these
your
people
medical
are
care too,
assigned
yeah.
medical care. They
Why
are
her
making your
medical care?
appointment.
Her son doesn't have power of attorney.
He
Nope,
had they
he
he
had it.
had it, but they
He
took
had
it
it.
from him,
See,
and
this
They
sounds
took,
like a setup.
she
Honey.
was she
yeah.
was she was doing good under his medical care too, and that's when she was in Florida. She had gained weight and all of this. They took it to court and took it from him, and he didn't even know they were doing it. And
And I
then
would have
all of a
sued their
sudden,
ass. Somebody need to talk to the son. One of his aunts or
They
uncle.
claimed that
his
$100,000 got taken out of her bank, and that's why they did it. That's what they claim.
That's
but they
crazy.
yeah, so they're like, oh, he's just going through her money and this. What are they doing? If she had
Right.
20 million, that's oh my god, it's just like so
And that's her
infuriating.
son. I mean, like I
Yeah.
could, if
I
it's my mom's money, I can do what I want to fucking do with my mother's money.
if
That's her
I'm
And
not
I
son. This
mistaken,
is
and
a
I
rich this is a rich kid. This
Right.
is a
that's what I
kid
was
who
thinking. Yeah,
spends
he's rich. He's
money
accustomed to it.
differently
Yeah, he's
differently
accustomed
from
to
a
it.
regular kid. Yeah.
Yeah, he's accustomed to it.
if I'm not
Hmm.
And he
mistaken, that they said that was for like his rent and different things like that. His birthday party had just passed, and so his mom paid for a birthday party. It was not like he
hmm
was, going to
and it
take
was a
her.
big yeah. And it was a
Yeah,
big birthday. It was his 21st birthday party.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I don't even care if it wasn't his birthday party. Do you know how many rich white kids go and just
Yes.
spend so much money on out of their parents' account, haven't worked a day in their life? Like this is mom's money. I'm
That's the
sure they
point.
have some sort of understanding.
Listen. She gave him his own American Express card. So obviously that's their understanding. This
hmm
obviously, she wants him to go be able to go out and get whatever he needs. Now, you have to prove that he did something wrong. They ain't proved nothing. They just said this is what it looks like. Like you say, do you understand how many non-black families have their children go out and they'll spend that on just clothing alone at some
Well,
retail store on bags and clothing and things like that. That's nothing to some
Right.
uber rich person. So
and can I just say this? I don't understand why Wendy would even have her money in Wells Fargo, and we know the history that they
I,
had with black people.
I talked
Mm,
about that. I touched on that. Yeah.
mm.
Hmm.
Good point. Good point. Because people
And
Because I
never
know I
think
know
about
last
it.
night I know last night she said, well, when we saw the her apartment, she said that money is gonna go to Bank of America.
Bank of
That's what she
America.
said. Yep,
That,
that's what she
that's
said.
yeah, that's what I was just telling Kind to me.
Because I would
Like,
damn sure
so
move
can
my
you
shit. I don't give a fuck. Take all my
yeah,
money and go.
yeah, but she can't move it because she's not allowed to do anything with her own money. Her
Mm.
money is not even locked away from her. Now, can you imagine? Now, your all your money is locked up. Your 401k saving is locked up. The money from your mansion is locked up. So you got a $700,000 house that you say you're going to sell, and you're going to buy a $300,000 condo in Miami or Florida somewhere and live off of the proceeds that's left over from that $700,000 sale of the house, and then all of a sudden your bank puts you away in another facility. So that's what's happening now. She had that New York City apartment that she filmed this thing in. She was looking forward to moving to another apartment in New York
hmm
City that was one story. And then all of a sudden she's snatched up, she's taken to another wellness center. They don't know what's going on with the sale of her apartment and the purchase of another apartment. They probably sold that apartment, didn't buy the second apartment, and gonna run through all the proceeds of the money that the sale of this apartment got. I doubt if they even bought her that second apartment. I bet you they just took the sale of that old apartment and put it in the bank so they could run through it themselves. That's what I think they did with it. I
And
think she's going to
house
come out of their place without a place to live.
the house market in New York also, that house or apartment is worth a lot of money.
A
Like in
lot
the
of
Mhm.
money.
millions. In the millions.
In
Probably
the
maybe in the
tens of
billions.
millions. No, it's in the tens of millions. Yeah, you
Yes.
Yeah, I
know.
could believe it because it looked like it was very beautiful inside when I was looking inside because she had steps too, right?
Yes,
Was it like a
and
two-story penthouse?
that's why she wanted to move because she couldn't do the steps. Yeah.
As a total, who is all in, I guess, charge of her?
The conservators that Wells Fargo has put in
The
place,
guardianship, yeah, the
they have a
guardianship.
conservator over her money, and they have one that is over her health issues. And
They make
you
appointments for
saw
her.
uh, now you saw that they were over her health issues all the way up until the day that
Oh, excuse me.
all the way up into the day that Will Sabi came into the house, did not call paramedics himself, but called the nephew and told what type of condition. This is a grown man. You heard manager allegedly, but you did not call the paramedics. You call her nephew, who they are not even allowed to have contact with her.
I
How come
thought
you
he's
didn't call the
shady.
conservative? Hold on.
Monica,
How
he's
come you
shady to
didn't?
me.
Hold on, Miss Toby. How come he didn't call the conservator? No, he called the nephew. Then who does the nephew call? The nephew calls the son, who calls the paramedics. The son, who they took conservator of her health away from, and this is how she got to. But your Wells Fargo people are the conservators over her health. But it went right back to the son. Had not her son called the paramedic, she would not be here. She had to have 3 blood transfusions. You understand me? So why now is her conservatorship is up for review in 2024. They didn't say what month, but it is up for review this year. So why what now if a judge allows them continue to be the conservator over her health, you know something is it's some kickbacks to the judges. I'm gonna say it like that. Like
Well, maybe
who does
maybe the documentary will help in that matter because it seemed like a lot of people are really, really upset about the situation that her family don't have control of her finances or her medical issues. So
hey
you think that
I'm Messi. Yeah, they said that she definitely wanted this out for a reason, and they left off with talking about how conservatorship is very flawed.
Yeah, hopefully it helps her out because maybe she did it because even though it looks so crazy to bring attention to how Wells Fargo is actually treating her, you
And
know?
then she said, and Vibrant Lowell said something, and Wendy Williams said something. If it happens to me, it can happen to you.
happened to
Like
you?
Vibrant Lowell said, you don't even have to have a lot of money for them to do that to you. So that people think, oh, well, she got a lot of money. Well, it still doesn't make it right. It still sounds crazy. It sounds crazy.
Yeah,
Like
what do
Brit,
you mean
at
she got
least,
a lot of money? She worked for
yeah,
that money. It's still her money. Worked hard for. You don't just give money away. I don't care how much she has.
yeah, and
No.
at least Britney Spears' father took conservatorship over her, and look what they found out what her own father was doing to her. Can you imagine a person that makes money off of holding your money would do to you?
I want to know
Mm.
how the banks are able to even do that. I've never heard of a bank doing that. I've heard of a family member.
Right.
I have never heard of a banking institution be able to take that away. They didn't even get a chance to defend themselves and didn't know it until it was too late and the conservatorship was already in place.
That's my point. That is exactly my point.
Ooh,
So what do you think about that, Miss Toby?
I'm sorry.
That's
I'm out of it. What was the question again?
yeah, but she don't see how a bank is able to do that. I don't see it either.
Because I mean, they said that they felt like it was like um questionable activities, right? So that was their reasons for doing it in the beginning, right?
Um, that's what they say, but they can just pull his credit card. If the problem was he was overspending on his American Express card, they can just pull his credit card. That's it, and that's all. It's bullshit. That was some bullshit. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
why that bankers are mandated reporters?
Oh, thank you, RNY. Okay, so they're mandated reporters, but they are not. Okay, okay. Thank you, RNY. I still think it's BS. I I definitely think it's. Oh, I'm way behind. Thank you guys. Um. So, kind to me. What else you want to add to that? Kind to me. Are you still here, kind to me?
Is she on mute?
You're on mute. Yeah, she's on mute. Okay, let me see if she comes back. Okay. Let me see what else they're saying. Wendy would have to set up
Sorry, I had to go
Wells
on mute for a
Fargo
minute.
as financial advisor. No problem. Okay, so she would have had to set them up as financial advisors, which she probably had. Thinking, HIPAA laws, why does the public know so much about her health and medical records? They really, really don't. They were even her family didn't know what was going on with her health. You know, they were getting it through phone calls, and they weren't getting a thorough readout of what her health was. So technically, they really don't, as far as I see. I think the public knows more about her spiraling out of control than her health. Okay, so anything else want to add? Now, what do you guys think about her niece going on The View and not knowing what she was in the wellness centers for? And after the commercial break, the health caregivers had let The View know exactly what her diagnosis was, and the right before the commercial break, the family didn't even have this information. So it seems like they were monitoring the show and trying to make it look good, trying to be like, oh, well, this is what's wrong with Wendy. But why didn't the niece know before the commercial break? And they come back from commercial break, and okay, the medical team just informed us that Wendy was diagnosed with X, Y, and Z type of dementia. Why did that have to come after a commercial break on The View? What do you guys think about that? Isn't that horrible?
I'm gonna say this is like just it's in my opinion really sad that they're not keeping in contact with family, even if she has a conservator for her medical stuff. Like the family should be notified when anything new happens to her, any new diagnosis, anything medically wise. Because as a family member myself, I know that I would break down crying not knowing what's happening to my family member.
Yeah. What do you think, Miss Toby? Miss Toby, you on mute?
No, I'm not on
Now,
mute. I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked. I think they were listening the whole time to the interview to see what the niece was going to say, and then I think they finally thought they had to say something too because the documentary was coming out too. And if anyone saw the documentary, we could see that there was something, severely wrong with Wendy.
and the documentary lets you know that all this stuff was getting worse and worse under their care when they had taken
Mm-hmm.
her medical care out of her son's
And
hands.
Kevin said
It was on them.
And Kevin said that she had what was it, alcohol induced dementia. That's what he
Right.
said. The doctor told
Well,
him.
what he's saying now, they're saying it's a different type of dementia. I don't know
Yeah.
if it. I don't know. Don't wait a minute. I may be wrong. It could be the same type, alcohol induced dementia. I know that there is a thing about that. You remember they used to call it wet brain back in the day, Miss Toby?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they used to call it wet. They got wet brain, like they can't never get sober again. They start losing it after they are alcoholic for so many years and they drink heavily. But they're saying it's the same type. I should have looked it up that Bruce Willis has. I'm not saying that he has wet brain or anything, but I know that there is a type of dementia that is caused by alcoholism. Is my point. Okay. Now, UNC girl is saying something about the daddy was stealing too. I don't know if she's being funny. I don't know if she's just saying that's an accusation. Hey, shush, 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 shush. She's not gonna shush. Okay, I don't know if she's saying that's a. She's not gonna shush. My husband's coming home now. I don't hear him anywhere near, but she heard him somewhere, and she's gonna shriek until he hits the door. Okay, but anyway, so that's a mess. It's a real mess. So what would you like to see happen with this, Miss Toby?
I really want her to live with her family in Miami. That's what I want.
Yeah, me too. And it's good that she got to the point where she even feels that she wants to be with family, and family is very important to her. And at this point, okay, what about you, Charlie?
I hope that she gets back with her family, because if you saw the videos of her when she was with her son, she looks so much more healthy. And I also think for her heart, like she kept saying in the documentary, I'm so bored, I miss my family. Like she was just, I need friends. Like she didn't have anybody to talk to but the yes men in her life. Like she didn't have nobody.
Mm-hmm.
And
Exactly.
it's really sad.
Yeah, okay. So now that we talked about that, I am going to play this. I'm going to use my banner for I'm using this as a you're going to want to be here for this, Miss Toby. It takes a long time for my banner to come. Copyright disclaimer under the section of 107 of the Copyright Act. This is allows use for purposes such as criticism, commentating, news reporting, and teaching. I'm going to do a little news reporting with this clip. I'm going to present this, and I want you guys to, see this with me. Okay. Okay. So some of you may know that council member Eric Mays from Flint, Michigan passed away last night. So I'm just going to show you a little clip of Eric Mays in action at a council meeting. He really fought hard for his district. He was a no holds barred type of man, and much respect to Eric Mays.
Who you think you talking to? Because I'm about ready to cuss you out. No, you need to get out of that meeting. Stop. You gonna condone it?
We didn't
It's recorded. You got people on live feed them telling you to shut the hell up just because somebody hide behind you. I heard it. Did I say what?
I didn't say nothing.
I got a problem with it. I got a problem with it.
Finance committee.
I want him out.
Is adjourned.
No, Sarah, what you want? I want him out.
I'm just shocked by
Because he ain't gonna disrupt me telling me to shut the hell up. Because I cuss better than the rest of them. You don't tell me what to do. No, you gonna get out of mine. I'm just telling you, you ain't gonna do it in here. What if I don't get out? What if I don't?
Now you heard that one man said, "Get out of here." He turned around and said, "What'd you say?" He say nothing. He sure did say something. He told him to get out of here. Okay, let me fast forward it a little bit. Okay, Eric Mays.
That you old white man with your racist butt. Y'all talking crazy. Call your mama. Don't you never tell me to call my mama. My mama dead. I understand you old white man with your racist butt. I'm so tired of hearing you can't feel these white folks say, call your mama. Call your mama. I said, I'm calling it.
So he said he was finna call the chief of police, and then the dude told him, call your mama. And that led to that heated exchange that we saw there. So are you familiar with Eric Mays, Charlie?
No, ma'am, but I'll tell you what, he didn't take no stuff, did he?
Don't ever take no stuff, boy. Those silly city councils meeting, they have a whole slew. I'm gonna drop the link. That channel. I already dropped the link. That channel was all of his city council meetings and stuff. So if you Google Eric Mays, they have a channel of different city council meetings that he was a part of, and he's gotten locked up at city council's meetings for being out of order and all types of things. So he puts people on the spot. And have them tongue-tied at the meetings because he does know exactly what he's talking about. The Robert Rules of Order that they used in the meetings, the secret meetings that they would have. They would hold city council meetings, make secret committees and stuff that are the mayor would make secret committees in charge of dispersing millions of dollars to the residents of Flint to fix windows, air conditioning, and things like that, and not do it through the right chain to avoid the city council as having oversight and it being transparency. He would catch them on all types of things like that. So the city of Flint has lost a great council member, albeit that he was boisterous and some people thought that he was abusive. I do believe that his heart was in the right place, and he also got a lot of things done for his constituents. He was voted in more times than a lot of the people who sat on his council were. And so, yeah, that's that about him, Eric Mays.
I want to say rest in
I
peace.
thought
He seemed like he had the best interest of his people at heart, like looking out for everybody.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So rest in peace, Eric Mays. And I'm going to play. Miss Toby, you got anything to say about Eric Mays? Miss Toby probably had a chewable. Okay.
No, I
Let
didn't
me
have an
play
edible
one
today.
more. Oh,
have
a
an
chewable,
edible.
an edible.
Not a
Edible.
chewable now. I don't eat on the
Yes.
food now. No, I didn't have an edible today. You said a chewable, Ronnie, really?
I said a chewable. Okay, let me play this. I'm gonna share this. Okay.
More than just the people in the first ward are going to miss him and miss his voice and miss his advocacy and his passion for this community because he was the voice for so many.
The city of Flint is mourning the loss of a local icon. Flint City Councilman Eric Mays has died at the age of 65. Thank you for watching the news at 6:30. I'm Raven Blue. His death comes as a complete shock to the community. TV5's Lauren Piesco spoke to a few of Mays' friends and colleagues who say without him, Flint will never be the same.
Was he controversial? Yes, but he was bold, he was unapologetic, and he was unafraid, and he wasn't scared to speak up and speak out.
If you live in Flint, there's one name you know well, and that's Eric Mays. The third-term Flint City Councilman died on Saturday, beloved for his boldness and passion for helping the people of Flint.
He was a fighter. He was a true fighter. And so you knew if he was fighting with you, you knew you had someone that would have your back. And we were usually on the same side. You know, someone said, you two are a couple. And I said, we were, because we fought for the same issues. We might have fought differently for those same issues, but we were always pushing for the same issues.
He was always for the underdog. He had a sense for what this community kind of truly needed when you went out and talked to people door to door. And then he would come down here and just let everybody have it. There was a lot of truth in what he'd say. There were some funny anecdotes and stories, and you just knew it all came from this big heart that he had for Flint.
Mays' death leaving behind shock and mourning throughout the community.
This whole community was devastating to get the news. We didn't always agree, but we respected each other's opinion, and we did try to work together on some commonality, on some things that we thought was good for the city.
He's remembered most by his friends and colleagues for his colorful personality, drive, and strong positions on many issues in Flint.
Speaking up about the water, speaking up about the settlement and the unjustness and unfairness of this settlement, speaking up about these ARPA dollars. I mean, there are so many things that the community will miss him speaking up and speaking out about. I'm going to miss that, but I'm going to miss the fun that we had because he was a friend. You know, and it's funny, a lot of people have sent videos of Eric and I dancing. I said, I guess we did dance together a lot.
I got to know Eric Mays when I first ran for mayor all the way back in 2007, and he was a community activist at heart. All of us just give our deepest condolences to the Mays family and all of his many, many friends who are close to him. Know that this community will never forget his big heart and his incredible service.
Now you would have you would have thought that he was the worst thing on earth, the way they treated him at these city council meetings and the way that they, tried to get him thrown out at every turn. Hats off to Eric Mays. I think that his constituents will greatly miss him. And I just wanted to, give a shout out to Eric Mays on today. So here we go. In honor of Eric Mays. The two faces of Eric Mays at work and posing for the camera. All right. So, Miss Toby, you want to add anything about Eric Mays?
He looks like Noble.
He does not look like no Noble. How dare you? How
Don't do that to a community leader. Don't do it like that.
Oh, please forgive me, Lord. I'm sorry.
How dare you? I cannot imagine.
I'm sorry.
Eric Mays
Lord, forgive me.
Let Tracy put two fingers up him. Get out of here.
God.
I'm sorry. Forgive me, Lord. Rest in power. I'm sorry.
Now the thing is, they
rest
haven't
in
said,
power.
They haven't said what they have not said what he passed away from. They said there was a lot of police cars out on his street in front of his house yesterday, but they haven't said what he passed away from. There's been no details if he.
Someone in the chat said natural causes, and then someone said he was sick. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to say he looks like Noble. I shouldn't have said that. I think the first time I really heard anything about him was during the water crisis.
That's where I just realized I had heard about him from, was the Flint water crisis.
Yeah. So that's the first time I ever heard of him through the water crisis.
Natural causes after an illness. Thank you, Vibrant Low. I didn't hear what happened to him. So those are the things that I wanted to talk about today. I didn't want to talk about. I heard that there was some fight. Two men went to go fight.
Yeah, I know all about that.
A hot mess. A hot mess.
Okay, so I heard that two men went to go fight today, and then
two women.
No,
it
I
started
heard
with
that
two men
went to fight today.
Yeah,
I heard that two men went to fight today, and then one woman decided to go to say she was going to film, and then it wound up another woman showed up, and then two women wind up fighting, and one of the men who was supposed to fight filmed it. So I don't know. I know Queen 88 is allegedly one. I don't even know who the other woman was.
It was
and
Aisha.
I definitely don't know Aisha and Queen 8. They fought before, hadn't they?
Well, they've talked about it before, but they've never actually met up in person because Aisha was pregnant at the time.
Oh, that's okay. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, but okay. Well, didn't Aisha's son? But didn't
that was Cream.
That was Cream's son.
That was Cream.
Okay. I'm getting confused. Okay. Okay, I'm getting confused. Because Aisha's son was in the background talking about, I'll meet somebody to fight. Why the fuck you putting your children in a situation?
But
that was Cream's son. Aisha's kids are like really young.
Yeah, that was Cream's son, and that was when he was he kind of like joined in the fight. But Aisha was at that fight. She was the pregnant lady at that fight. You may remember. So then they finally
I remember.
Do you know who actually allegedly won that fight, Charlie? Because I didn't see any of this stuff.
I can straight from the very beginning tell you who the two men were. It was Sco. His name's Just Say No to Sco, and it was Ratchet. They were supposed to fight. When 88 showed up to be there to make sure everything was fair and whatnot, then Aisha showed up and they went to scrap and they fought 3 times. Now, Queen did not get on camera, but Aisha did. Aisha was missing some hair. Her lip was all bruised up real bad. Her face was, pretty scratched up. Her neck was scratched up.
She said Queen 88 bit her. When I seen the live, I seen it. She bit her really bad.
Wait a minute. Aisha got bit really bad, is what you're
By
saying?
by Queen 88, because she showed the mark on her live.
Uh-huh.
Her name is Pressurelicious, Miss Ronnie IQ. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But can I just say this?
That's a lot. That's a
I
lot.
haven't said, but
Go ahead.
look. And what were they fighting for? Was it over words?
Well, they were supposed
Because
to
a
fight
man
way
said
back
he would
over
fight his
words.
mama.
For what? For what?
No.
These women look like they look like they don't look like they're in their early 20s. They look like they're in their 30s. Are they in their 30s?
Well,
Okay.
remember, Cream was like, how old is Cream? Cream was like in her late 40s.
Yeah, Cream's way older
I
than
was
Queen.
like
Queen and me are
really,
only a
really
year apart in
surprised.
age.
Yeah.
Can you imagine going to a fighting somebody over some words and shit over the internet?
No, not at all.
Grown ass women, they got kids.
Now, see, hold on, Miss Toby. See, here's the part that got me. Here's the part that got me. So they said that Queen 88 left her phone in the car, and all you could hear was her children in the car. So she brought her kids there. So, okay, she brought her kids there, but she came to make sure the fight was fair, is what you say, amongst two men?
Yes. And supposedly, she says she dropped the kid off with the baby daddy. Other people state that they heard the kid in the car because her phone the Bluetooth on her car was on.
But Charlie, Aisha, when I was watching her live, Aisha said that
and Aisha said she saw the child.
Aisha said that the child was there because when they was fighting, she was opening up the door trying to get to her, and she saw the child, and the child was crying. And she said for a minute she felt really, really sorry, that she was out there fighting with the woman and the child was there. That's what Aisha said today in her live.
Braids yanked out. Somebody says. So she came to the fight to make sure that the fight's gonna be fair amongst two men. Who gives a fuck if it's fair or not between two men? They meet up, you get what you're gonna get. It wasn't even fair, the fight that you had with Cream. So who showed up to make sure the fight was fair when you and Cream had the fight, when Cream had a whole carload of people? So you didn't make sure your own fight was gonna be fair, but you're gonna make sure two dudes' fights gonna be fair. Girl,
they
what?
were there to film, in my opinion, for clicks and views, and to see who won.
Okay,
so that they could be the first one to report it.
So the men wind up not fighting, and the men wind up recording their fight. Has the fight?
Ratchet didn't show up till 30 minutes after. This is by what Aisha said, 30 to 45 minutes after Sko left. But they stayed there for a period of time, and then Ratchet states that he was literally pulled up right after Aisha and Queen fought because he picked up Queen's things and returned them to her cousin Jackie.
Okay, so she did have somebody with her.
No,
her cousin Jackie.
They were on their way, but they didn't make it to her in time because they didn't expect. Aisha showed up out of the blue. It was not expected for her to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, did Queen give up the fact that she was on her way to go down there to make sure it was fair, and that could have been how Aisha knew to make her way down there as well?
I believe so. People have stated that they were all live talking about this, and someone dropped the address in the chat to the place they're going to be.
Because that's what Aisha said. Aisha was like, yeah, I was watching the lives and stuff, and I'm not telling people my moves. Yeah, I showed up.
Okay. Now, so we're going to a fight amongst men. So, men nowadays really don't do a lot of fist fighting and stuff. So I'm not going to put myself in their way or bring my children down there, child down there, to be in the way of anything that may go astray. So I just found that was very, very surprising to me that that would somebody would meet to try to negotiate fairness among men who are coming up to meet up to fight. So what do you guys say?
I wouldn't be pulling up anyway because I know myself and I ain't going to jail for nobody. And I sure ain't bringing my kid.
Well, let me tell you something. I don't have no kids, but I have common sense to know if I did have kids, I would not be pulling up nowhere with my kids. And I also know at my ripe age, I ain't going no goddamn where to pull up to nowhere to end up 6 feet under or me in jail somewhere. And can you imagine you going to court and the judge is reading off how you end up somewhere because someone was fighting with you or fussing with you on YouTube and you going to meet them up to fight?
Or you wind up fighting because you wanted to go down to negotiate or make sure that some dudes who was mad at each other on YouTube wanted to fight. And you no. Yeah, so can you imagine
nowhere in hell. You don't know what kind of if a person got a pow.
Okay, exactly. That was my point. So you think I'm gonna be in the way or put my child in the way of some two dudes who no. I don't know what neither one of them got. I don't know that. Too much stuff happened that I didn't mean to do it. I just bought too much stuff happened. I don't want to be in the way of that. But see, here's my question. I'm gonna put the word as of yet. Are any law enforcement authorities involved in any of these fights?
Not that we know of on this one, but there has been states in like in different chats, people have stated that they would call the CPS on Queen. That has been stated multiple times. I don't know if they did or didn't. That's just what people are saying in chats. They said that the law was they saw the law, but they don't know if any papers were taken out as of yet.
Oh my god. So it's to be continued.
Pretty much. Just watch and see what happens. And yeah.
Well, I'm not a subscriber. I heard Bree talking about this, but I'm not a subscriber. I wouldn't have even known where to find any of these channels or anything because I know a few people that I'm subscribed to over there, and I think I heard Max Boogie briefly talk about it. So those like Max Boogie is like one of the only people, and it's Mahia part or what sector are they from? Are they from the Mo 3 or the
Mo 3, and then some of them call themselves the Troll Beef, but they're all pretty much in the same sector. It's Mahia, which you say is Mexican, and some people say that it's Mahia. Max. Now Chanel, she's not actually a part of the Mo 3, even though she's adjacent. She's Mommy sector. And then you have Queen 88, which I'm subscribed to. The SCO Gang, which is Aisha Precious is part of that. And then they have a bunch of those. SCO Mysterious. Cream is also SCO Gang. Lady Wu is SCO Gang. And then there's so many. You have SD, Jackie, which is Queen's cousin, Rainwater.
So there's Skull Game, there's Troll Beef, and there's Mo 3. And some of them are interchangeable.
They're all in the same area in Dallas, and that's why they're in Texas in general. And that's why a lot of them are intertwined.
Okay, so I was just interested in which sector they were from or whatever. I didn't call Mahia Mexican. Is that what you said?
Mexia. I thought you said Mexia. A lot of people say that.
No, Mahia. Yeah, I didn't know how to say it at all when you look at it how it's spelled, and I was like, oh, that's pronounced Mahia. That's interesting. But so
I did the same thing though. I said it weird too when I first saw it because I didn't think it was Mahia either.
Mm-hmm. I was like, Mahia. I was like, he figured out, and then I found out that that's an extra city or something in Texas. So so I can't dispute how he's pronouncing it. Or spelled it. Obviously, is right. So I think that was crazy. That was a lot, and we'll see what happens.
Miss
I'm sure they're going to
Ronnie,
keep us updated.
you think that the beef sector is like kind of crazy? We are not.
I don't think that that's going to be happening. But like the beef sector better be very careful, because they fuck around and pull up on the wrong person. They may get something worse than an ass whooping. So they better be very careful.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Lavon, why
yeah.
would you
So
ask if anybody watch Heidi's makeup challenge?
well, obviously, some people watched it because there's a duplicate of the makeup challenge going on. So I do. I somebody said that Joyce won, and I saw a
It
picture
was
on
only
Ellis.
100 people in there. When I went to be nosy, me being the nosy heifer that I am, I went, and it was only 100 and something people in there. She ain't had nobody in there, and
Okay,
Joyce won, and they probably only gave it to her because she's a begging ass bitch, always begging for money. So they figured
because
let the bitch win, so she won't be begging us for no goddamn money.
they got tired of giving it to her for the whole month, so they just gave her whole stipend of KFC money at one time, and hopefully the big bitch will make it last through the whole month, eating $300 worth of chicken. She probably ordered $150 worth of Popeyes and KFC last night. That bitch ain't gonna save no money. You gotta give that bitch her KFC money a day at a time. Shit, I don't know what they thought they were doing,
But
but
now one
there
thing
was
I can
another
say,
lady.
she do work wonders though with that makeup,
Yeah,
because she's a ugly little thing. While she ain't little, she
she's
a ugly beast,
Joy.
and I
Joyce
don't
is
like
the
calling
Helen
women
Keller of
ugly.
makeup. Joyce is the Helen Keller of makeup. She's a miracle worker, because she looks horrible, and then she manages to make herself look halfway decent.
And Just Christie one, just Christie, she look like a lion to me. BB Nice.
I don't even. Uh, yeah, she does, and I don't know who the
I
other
think it's
lady
the
was
hair.
who
I think it's
looked
the
like she
hair.
was a. I don't know who the other lady was who looked like she was a geisha, because you could see the whole outline of her foundation in her face, and it didn't go all the way blend in her hairline or anything like that. But then they said that it was her lighting that messed her up, that made her look odd. But I just say that she did a bad makeup job. And then Jay Wilson up there. Now you're sitting up there, you're doing a makeup challenge, and you're doing all these movements, like all this pointing, like you're the cool guy, like you're at a club. And I'm like, what is with all these over masculine hand gestures that he's doing? Bitch, you're fucking judging a makeup challenge, you little whore. What are you doing? And he's all with these over masculine and throwing his hands up, and all like pimp down, pimp daddy, all hand movements, and you're judging a freaking makeup contest. Like, did you see that? If you guys have not seen Jay Wilson and his hand gestures, please go back and review all these over masculine hand gestures that
Oh
he's
my
doing
lord.
during this contest. It was a mess. Okay, Levon, not a magician. Yes, a magician. The Helen Keller of makeup. Okay, so that's all I got for you guys. And Miss Toby and Kind to Me and Charlie, I thank you guys for coming up and joining me in this conversation. Is there anything that I may have missed that you guys want to add?
No, ma'am, but
Um,
I'm gonna tell you, making me laugh so hard I had to keep muting.
yeah, I know Charlie. She can't help the child. That's just Ronnie Carey. That's just her.
Thank
Well,
you for
thank you
having
guys
me,
for
Miss
coming up.
Ronnie.
Ooh,
All right,
damn.
that's all I got for today. And Lee, don't be so mean to the cat. That's the cat you talking to, right?
How you know I was talking to the cat? How you know?
Because I know you're talking to the cat.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Bye, Ronnie Carey. Bye.
Have a good
All
day, Miss
right. Bye,
Toby. Bye,
Charlie.
You
y'all.
Bye,
too,
Miss
Ronnie. You too,
Toby.
Charlie.
All right, guys. I thank you guys for coming out today. Talk about Wendy Williams and Eric Mays and um, a little sector information. So that's all I got. And I hope you guys have a nice day. And I'll see you around the YouTube streets. All right. Bye-bye. turn that down. Let me get this information. So somebody just wrote in the chat that Kevin Jr. blasted Wendy Williams for her sister for stealing $15 million. Is that true? Okay, let me StreamYard is tripping. Wow. Okay, so you want me to drop the link? Let me drop the link. And can you guys tell me where did you see this? How did the sister steal $15 million from her? This is interesting. Okay, there's the link. Yes, ma'am. It's on IG. Okay, somebody wanted the link. Okay, let me go to IG. Whose page is it under on IG? I don't. Okay. Nobody's coming up. Oh, you're coming? Okay. I don't know whose page it's under in IG. It must be under, let me see if I see Kevin Jr. under IG. Nope. Don't see it. Don't see it. Hey, Strictly Platinum, how you doing? Okay. Oh, Charlie wrote it. Okay. I see an article where Kevin Jr. says this. Okay, yeah, I'm looking for it now. I don't see that. Okay, somebody's backstage. Hey, UNC girl, what's up?
Hey, Ronnie Q, look in the back chat.
Okay. The link isn't working for me. Okay. So that's the latest news. So just go out and I cannot find the story, but they're saying that Wendy Williams' sister has stolen $15 million from her, according to Wendy Williams' son. So that is the update of what we have here. All right. Sorry for that. Thanks a lot. I can't find the article. Okay, Charlie's in the back. Charlie, what's going on, girl?
So see if that link works.
Okay, thank you, Charlie. I appreciate you dropping the link. All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. Here's the link. Oh, it's on the Jasmine brand. Okay. So I'm going to drop the link for you guys. Williams' ex-husband accused her sister and production company of stealing up to $15 million from, not her son, her ex-husband is accusing them of that. So I'm going to drop the link for you guys here. The article is on the Jasmine brand. Not Wendy's son is accusing her, but Wendy's ex-husband is accusing her of doing that. So there's that. Okay, let me drop this in the chat for you guys, and you guys can go over and read this story. I have to take everything that Kevin Sr. says with a, why am I keep dropping the StreamYard thing? Hold on 1 second. Okay. Let me get the right. Let me get the right thing to drop you guys. Okay. Okay, here's the story from the Jasmine brand. And there you go. Okay. So that's it. I'm out of here. Thank you guys for coming. God bless you and good night. Hey, thank you, Levon. Oh, it was Kevin Sr. With the accusation, not his son. Thank you. I saw that when I read the heading. Okay. All right. You guys have a good day. God bless you and goodbye. We're out of here again. Thank you guys for the information.